Hello and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm John Carruthers.
And today on the show we are going to take you to that express lane straight to the latest Apple technology, iOS 5.
iOS 5.
We're excited about that.
And the iPhone 4S.
And the iPhone 4S as well, yeah, absolutely. A whole new line of technology from Apple. Today on the show we're going to walk you through those technologies and give you a taste of what is to come. Well, in fact, with today's today. We're launching today because iOS 5 came out today.
Yes, iOS 4 in a couple days. So if you're watching this on Friday, you might even have the iPhone 4S in your hand already. So
iPhone 4S, exactly. There you go. All right. And on a somber note, of course, our dear friend Steve Jobs passed last week, and so we thinking about you, Steve, and just a sad day for technology.
Yeah, he made a lot of difference in the world of technology, changed the way we are actually interacting with technology and thinking about technology because of a lot of the choices that he made along the way.
They say he was the Edison of our time?
Yeah, that is what a lot of people are saying.
Yeah, amazing. So Steve, we salute you. And we know that you hear us because Lab Rats is in heaven, clearly. All right, so let's get on with the show. Let's take a break. When we come back, iOS 5 and iPhone 4S, a preview, today on Lab Rats. Welcome back to Lab Rats. So before we get started, a quick message from our sponsor, who is VeriSign, amazing company that really maybe not a lot of people don't know about, but they really are really important to the internet. You know, these guys are the custodians of .com and .net. You know, they really safeguard that technology, and they've been around for more than a decade doing that for us. So without them, there would be no internet, or the internet would be a sadder place.
It would be all broken in very many places, for sure.
So if you want to know what it takes to run .com and .net, zip on over to VeriSignInc.com/connect to find out more about this company. It's so critical to the internet and our daily lives. All right, good. So iOS 5, and which is a new operating system and a feature of the iPhone 4S.
Right, yeah. So let's talk about the iPhone 4S
Start
first.
there, yeah, exactly. Okay, good.
Yeah, because everyone loves to talk about the hardware. A lot of people were expecting the iPhone 5 to be launched, this launch that happened last week as we're taping this. It is not anytime soon anyways. So they announced the iPhone 4S, which is sort of a refinement of the iPhone 4. So we've got the iPhone 4 here. This may as well be the iPhone 4S as far as you know, because it looks pretty much the same.
Form factor hasn't changed.
Form factor hasn't changed, so you can still use your cases and all of the other docks that you use that custom fit the iPhone 4. So
the iPhone 5 we think is going to be sometime in the future? Yeah,
sometime down the road. So all of these talks of different form factor, curved screen, all of that, not happening yet. So
got it. Okay, good.
Now, there have been a few changes with the iPhone 4S. Inside the machine, there's the same Retina display on it, so that's the same, but there's now an A5 dual-core processor inside, just like in the iPad 2.
Multi-core processor.
Yeah, so it's a lot of speed that you didn't have before in that.
They say 7 times.
I think 2 times for the speed of the processor, 7 times for the graphics. So
right.
Definitely from a gaming perspective, it's now a whole lot faster.
Yep.
And if you weren't playing these high-speed, really immersive games on the iPhone before, then you might now. So,
very cool.
There you go.
All right.
So there's that.
New camera.
There's an 8-megapixel camera in there now.
8 megapixels, wow.
Which is bringing it up to the level that everyone else is at. 5 lens elements inside the camera for better picture quality, and it's got a backlit CMOS sensor which allows it to gather more light into it. So just overall better quality. Also means with the video capabilities of it now, it's now 1080p with the newer sensor in there. So
it's the highest high def.
Yeah, highest high def. So it'll fill up your screen all the way to the edges, none of this 720p crap like we had before. So
wow, that's pretty impressive for a tiny little camera like that. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you remember Antenna Gate from the release of the 4, how they had multiple pieces on this?
Yeah.
Well, they've sort of refined it a little bit at this point. So now you have the ability to switch between the antennas automatically. So in different areas, you use whichever antenna is most appropriate. It also allows you to use data on one and voice on the other. So it's intelligent and actually can gain you speed and better call quality, one assumes, as well, depending on where you are.
I guess when Apple put out that request for antenna RF engineers, they haven't apparently found them, and they've been working on it.
Yeah, no word yet on whether or not your calls are going to drop when you hold it in a death grip, but you know, as people have pointed out, that happened with other phones as well. So
It was such a pile of poo.
it was a bit of a pile of poo.
Oh my God. Yeah, talk about like, since I think maybe Apple created, the marketing department created the sensationalism themselves.
Who knows? Either way, if it is still a problem, your old case for the iPhone 4 is still going to
Still work, that's right.
So the big news for the iPhone 4, though, the 4S, is something called Siri. Now, a short while ago, Apple bought this company called Siri, which does voice control. And they've integrated that into the new version of the iPhone 4S. So as opposed to just the standard old one that you used to have before, where you press the button and hold and say, iPhone, play, blah, or I guess you would just say, play such and such an artist. A very limited recognition set for something
You have
like
all the
that.
albums by such and such an artist, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, I thought you did.
I do. My favorite band of all
Yeah,
time.
such and such an artist, yeah.
So voice recognition on a lot of phones is adequate because it's got a limited command set. It knows what X number of things you want to do using that phone.
Yeah.
But it's not very good at overall voice recognition and then going out and getting things using natural language. Siri does that now, apparently. So time will tell if this actually works the way everyone thinks it will, but the whole goal is you press down the home button and say, find me a Greek restaurant within 20 kilometers. And then it'll go out onto the internet and find that for you and give you the answer.
Does Siri speak metric?
Siri might speak metric. Yeah, it's launching into a few areas right now, US at the beginning and a couple other places in the world. Not localized for Canada as we speak right now, but it is coming to Canada. But they have to localize it a little bit to get it used to the way various places interact with the world numerically speaking and the way they speak and that sort of thing. So
I wonder if they'll, Siri will understand the Canadian A.
maybe.
Find me some poutine, eh?
Hey, Siri, where can I return this to for, eh?
See, there you go.
Yeah.
At the LCBO,
yeah,
the beer story.
That's the goal. So anyways, you can tell Siri to read back your text messages and then dictate a text message to return and all that other sort of thing. So a number of the things you can do on the phone already. By tapping it, you can do with Siri, and there's a number of things that you can do just asking for information, like what was the capital of such and such.
I get this experience that, 10 years from now, we're going to go back. Remember that thing, that Siri thing on the iPhone 4S? Was it the 4S? Yeah, I think it was the 4S. Talk about, rudimentary. But
yes.
Anyway, it's exciting now, but it just strikes me as one of those technologies you look back on and go, wow, that was the beginning of it.
And the funny thing is like, I think it was last week as we're doing this right now, we were talking about the need for voice activation technology.
We did.
To get away from this touch keyboard model, and it might be here now.
Here it is.
So.
Could be. Let's hope it works.
Mm-hmm.
But if Apple's going to do it, usually don't launch something unless it works quite well.
Yes.
So with any luck, they...
Yeah, the reports are that it works quite well at this point. So I'm sure that there's going to be ways to stump it, especially with crazy accents like yours. So
That's right. My crazy accent. Nice. Good. Okay, good. So that's the iPhone 4S, available in limited territories. You could order starting last week in, I think, the shipping today or tomorrow or whenever.
They'll be shipping on the 14th, so a couple days from when we release the episode.
Right. Okay. Good.
And
that's in limited territories, and then internationally in the next.
Another 22 countries as of the end of October. So, and then of course out into the rest of the world beyond that.
Beyond that, yeah. Okay. Good. So that's the iPhone 4S. So now, but of course, the big feature of this new this new phone is the iOS5, the operating system, is the fifth version of the mobile operating system on the iPhone and the iPad, and I guess the Apple TV as well.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. Let's actually see it, because we actually have, we've been holding off. We've been exploring this for the last couple of months, really. Well, we've been in beta. And now we're showing it to you guys today, because we've had a chance to poke at it. So let's have a look at that.
Yeah, so we've actually put it onto some of our older technology. I put it onto my iPhone 4. It's on our iPad 2 here, and you've put it onto your iPad
at home.
We've got it on our Apple TV back here as well.
Yeah.
Different functionality, obviously, with that. It's not a mobile device like this. So there's a few new features on this. A quick glance, it's going to look very similar to the previous version of iOS. I mean, there's never been a huge aesthetic change from one to the other. So the first one that I think is really important is, remember with your iPhone, when you still used one on a regular basis, when you got an alert message, it would just pop up into the middle of your screen and then just stay there until you pressed it and made it go away. So if you were playing Angry Birds, it would just pop up in the middle of the screen and annoy you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now it doesn't quite do that. It actually sort of comes up on the screen at the top of the screen as a little banner, just sort of flips there, doesn't interrupt you, lets you keep doing what you're doing, and then goes away.
How very Android of it.
Yeah, it is kind of Android-y, but yeah, definitely something that should have been done with this at the start. So I think, oh, there we go. We
There you
just
go.
got a message there from our man Paulie. So, and
Oh,
yeah,
gone.
too late. Well, he'll send another one or something.
Go on, zoom in, Paul, and do it again. Come on, do it. Zoom in. All right, ready? Let's see. It's going to appear right here. Right here. Go right here. Right here.
Are you sure you want to give away your phone number though?
There we go. Ha ha! I love my cat. See? He doesn't have cats, but he's pretending
Everyone
to
can
have
call
cats.
Paul now. So.
That's right. All right.
Anyways, so there's that's what it is. But you notice it popped up and went away. We didn't have to sit there and press it to go away. But the thing is now, okay, it went away. I wasn't paying attention to my iPad at the time when I came in, or my iPhone. Now I don't know that it's there. Now they've got something called Notification Center. Again, very Android-esque. So you can just flip down from the top of the screen and you can see all of these things that have come in. This one right here has FaceTime. I've actually received a couple of messages from Paul about Andy scaring him and him loving his cats. And I tried calling via FaceTime earlier. We have this also on the iPhone, of course. You can set up a number of different things with this. So when I scroll down here, you see that it not only has my phone and my messages, and you see Paul's messages are here too because of iCloud, which is something we'll get into in a little bit.
Oh, cool.
But I've also got like weather. I've got my mail here, so I can see a bunch of things that came in via mail. I can add stocks, and there's probably other ways for other apps to bolt into this down the road. So when I want to see what I've missed, I just flip that down, and everything I missed goes there. And then when I'm done, I just flip it back up like that. So again, very Android-esque, everything in one quick control panel.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, it's good to see them catch up with that. They look like they've done a nice job of that. And I would say it's nice and Apple clean.
It is nice and Apple clean. So,
good.
All right, so next up, we've got something called reminders. Now, how many times have you needed to remind yourself to do something, and so you put it into your calendar?
Done that a million times and forgotten about it.
Yeah.
Forgotten to put reminders in.
Yeah, you can set put a reminder into your calendar and set an alert to do it, and it'll go when it's time, right? But now you're sort of polluting your calendar up.
Drives me crazy.
Yeah, the calendar is supposed to be about places you got to be, your appointments you have to keep. Your reminders are things you got to do, like pick up the milk, which is not something that should go next to meeting with the studio team. It's just two completely different
cat
things.
food, Paul.
Or pick up the cat food. So reminders, as we have on here, you just click it open, and you see I've got one already that says call Andy. And I can tap on it here, and it says remind me at a certain time, right? So that's important. If I know that I got to call you at a certain time, I can set that up. But the nice thing here is I also have the ability to set it up as a location. So say this is get milk, and I want to remind myself to get milk as I leave. So I'm going to turn the time off, because it doesn't really matter what the time is, because I might leave here at 5 o'clock, or I might leave here at 8 if I got a lot of work to do, right? So I'll set the slider at a location to on, and then it'll find our location here, and I can set when I leave. It'll remind me to, in this case, it'll remind me to call you, but if it was get the milk, it could be that. Or if it's to clean the cat box, I keep forgetting to clean the cat box, and then when I get home, I'm just too tired. I can set it to clean the cat box and then put when I arrive, and then change this to my home address. So it'll look up the home address from my address book here. So,
cool.
So that's one way you can deal with reminders that is not only time-based, but location-based.
Okay, got it.
And the bad thing about that is it uses your GPS. So if you have something sitting there pulling your GPS all day, it can wear down your battery a whole lot faster.
True.
So you may not want to do that unless you have to.
Okay.
All right, so that's reminders.
That's reminders. What about social media integrations? A lot of talk about that in mobile these days, especially with Microsoft doing a big play on the iPhone, not the iPhone, the Windows Phone 7, Phone 7.
Yes. So there's
Mango.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of people wanting to integrate as much social media as they can. I think there was a lot of talk about getting Facebook in here. No dice at this point, but there is Twitter. So under the action button here, whenever you're on something, you can actually hit tweet now on a lot of these pages. So I'm in Safari right now. If I'm in another application in here that has the ability to tweet, like I take a picture, I can tweet that photograph just by clicking on that. And I'll hit that, and it will actually take that, wrap it up with a little clip, and then I can put a little message on there, and it'll send it to my Twitter account. So that's integrated throughout the operating system now. It's not just strictly in the Twitter application that you can download. It is already there.
I got it.
All right.
Cool.
So you saw an earlier version of, or an earlier notification there from iMessage.
Yeah.
So this right here is iMessage, And you notice at the bottom here, well, let's do one thing. Well, actually, let's show you this right now. It says iMessage here in the message bar, whereas beforehand it used to be text message. And this is because Paul is set up with an Apple ID, I've got an Apple ID, and we're communicating using that Apple ID over the 3G network and over Wi-Fi when necessary or when possible, as opposed to always texting each other and eating up our text messaging fees for the month. So if you have that ability to get on a Wi-Fi network and communicate with someone else, it'll actually cut down on that way. It gives you the ability to send messages with photographs as well. So MMS, I mean, this is not really anything new. It's a little bit of a bundle of MMS and the sort of features you'd find on iChat over on the Macintosh. Mm-hmm. You can see when people are typing to you on this one because of that. And you also have the ability to share these. As you saw, the message that I got from Paul came through here and it came through here. So with iCloud now, again, we'll talk about that. Yeah, so there we go. So we can't see that Paul's typing because...
I think he wants us to go to break.
Yeah, there we go.
Tell us to go to break, Paul. He's typing. See, break. All right, let's take a break. Let's talk about iCloud when we come back, because we got iCloud, and I want to talk about over-the-air updates and a bunch of other stuff too. So
it's long because it's got a lot of good stuff, Paul.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we have the rest of your iOS 5 update that's after this. Welcome back to Lab Rats. So let's just wrap this up real quick, because I know there's a couple other features we want to mention. Mm-hmm. We ran short of time there. So over-the-air updates, a big feature. No, actually, iCloud first.
Yeah,
so
iCloud and over-the-air updates sort of tied into the same sort of thing. Going wireless, I think, is part of the big thing. So in the past, with your iPhone and your iPad, you had to connect it via USB to your device and sync it every so often to make sure that everything was backed up. Now with iCloud, iCloud is the cloud service that Apple's released that allows you to back up your data to it, store your music there, use it to transfer things between your devices. So as you can see, I had devices, both of these devices receiving messages at the same time because they're both on that Apple ID. I can back these devices up to my iCloud account.
Crazy.
Just a lot of the stuff that you used to do beforehand can go through iCloud for backup or data transfer purposes. Mm-hmm. When you do your updates now, you no longer have to connect to say when I want to take this from iPhone or the iOS 4 to 5, I have to plug it in via USB and then firmware update it that way. Mm-hmm. Now going forward from 5 on, you can just say, look for software update and just do it right there on the phone. You don't have to connect it to a computer. And you also don't have to connect your computer to the devices when you first get them out of the box with iOS 5 on them.
So this is
set it all up there.
This is
PC free.
PC free, but it's also, does it do over-the-air updates on your 3G or 4G connection? Well, 4G not yet.
Yeah, some of the iCloud stuff, yeah. So there's other things like you can sync to your iTunes on your computer over Wi-Fi. That's another one of the wireless components that's in there. So if you're on the same wireless network as your iTunes library, then it'll sync new content that way wirelessly. But at this point, not over 3G, I don't believe.
So over-the-air not happening yet. But I imagine once the 4G networks are available, that will maybe become an opportunity.
Yeah, that might change down the road, but I think too many people are paying too much for their data right now.
True.
So,
okay, good.
Right.
And then some iPad features.
Yeah, well, I'm going to show you one of them right now. So one of them is, I'm going to go to AirPlay here. In AirPlay, you used to be able to push videos to a device like the Apple TV. Now, you can turn mirroring on and push the entire screen over there. So I'm actually looking at everything that I'm doing here. So I can actually go to my different applications here, and we can see everything over here. So here we go. There's Paul's messages earlier.
So this is everything on your iPad is being pushed to this screen here via your Apple TV?
Everything is being pushed over, not just the specific video components that you used to be able to send, or something like your presentation. Just absolutely everything without need for an extra cable. And the other thing you may have noticed me doing here on the big screen, I'm not sure whether we saw that, but we've got multitasking ability here with 4 or 5 fingers, so we can actually go up like this with 4 fingers, so we don't have to double tap the button. We can just go 5 fingers up and 5 fingers down again, and we can swipe to different apps by going side to side like this. So there we go. Those are some of the new features you have on iPad. There's going to be a few more, but those are the really big fun ones. So
now you've done a whole series on the iOS 5 on a How Do I?
Yeah, we really skimmed through a lot of the features here because of time. But yeah, we had a little bit more time to stretch out in How Do I. So there's a number of other features we didn't even touch on here, like new features found in some of the old favorites like Mail and Calendar, inside Safari, and I went into some of those in greater detail there, so you can see those new features there.
Well, let's take a look at the episode you did on Safari.
Sure, yeah, there's a really cool feature there.
Cool feature. Let's have a look at that when we come back. Picture time.
Welcome on deck. I'm Matt Harris.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman.
Welcome to the A-List.
Hi, welcome to Miss Download.
Safari now includes Reading List, which is a feature that previously appeared in the desktop version of Safari. The idea of Reading List is that you take something that you want to see but don't have time to read now, put it in the reading list, and then keep track of things that you need to read later that way. When you're on a page that you want to read later, hit the Action button, and then tap Add to Reading List. Then, when you go to your bookmarks, these items will appear in the Reading List item. Reading List features an Unread tab and an All tab, so you know which items that you've already looked at. These items are shared via iCloud, so you'll be able to read items that you put into Reading List on other devices.
Well, if you want to see the entire clip of that on the entire episode of How Do I, you can zip on over to butterscotch.com and see not only that part, but all, how many parts?
There's 10 parts at this point, maybe
10
more
parts,
later on.
Maybe more as we start to go through them. So you can use the URL right here on the screen to get to that. It's express lane to there. And that's that. So good job on that. Was that fun?
Lots of fun. Yeah, it was always fun to check out all the new features and just sort of try to find new ones that other people haven't been talking about yet. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good job. Okay, and now it's the time of the show where we show you your pictures on Picture Time.
And dancing time.
So
all
many
right,
more today.
so got 2 photographs for you today.
Mm-hmm.
So first up, we got one from Bob, who is from Bradford, Maine. This is not him in Bradford, Maine. This is him in Ethiopia. He actually goes over every so often to help out and do some building. And you can see him there.
Looks like he's herding cattle.
Yes. And
goats.
And goats and stuff, yes. So.
Look at the goats. Oh, look at the goats. Oh, the goats.
Yes.
So pretty. I like the goats. I like the goats. Strange. I like goats. Almost as much as cats.
Almost.
Did you get yourself a cat yet, Paul?
I got 2, I told you.
Did you get yourself a goat? No goat. All right.
Thank you, Bob, for sending that in.
Thank you, Bob, for your goat pictures and your cattle pictures.
Yes. So next up, we have one from Joseph McCaig, who is at Trinity High in Cambuslang, something like that, which is in Glasgow. And this is Bob's class. Or sorry, Joseph's class. And Joseph says that they watch Lab Rats in class. So
that's very good.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, if it was Bob's class, it would be goats.
Yes.
These aren't goats.
Yeah, so this is Bob's class. This is
Right.
Joseph's class.
It's Joseph's class. Awesome. That's a handsome bunch of people. It's too bad this guy. Look at his. Look. How'd your mother raise you? Yeah, do your tie up.
It's not an episode of Lab Rats unless Andy makes fun of at least one person in a group of people.
Hey, look, these guys are like handsome-looking characters. This one, though. I wonder about that one.
You know what? He's going to grow up to be the Andy Walker of his class, probably. Yeah.
Probably.
This is why he's hard on you, whoever you are.
That's right.
It's okay. It's all going to work out.
Awesome.
All right, so thanks, Joseph, for sending that in. And thank you, all of you, for being in that picture. And especially thanks to the person that Andy mocked mercilessly.
Yeah. I'm going to call your mom. All right. If you'd like to email your pictures to us and have it appear on Picture Time and have me mock you, you can email them to.
If you're a goat with an askew tie, why not send your picture to us at labrats.tv?
It's very good. I like that. And more simply, if you want to get to us faster, less typing.
Feedback at labrats.tv.
And if you're a goat, it's harder to type, right? So you want a shorter email address.
Yeah. 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 Or if your tie is low and it's getting in the way of your fingers.
Could be. Could be that.
Look, now he's got me doing his job.
All right, well, that's it for Lab Rats this week. You know, it would be foolish for us to be here messing with Sean if you weren't out there laughing your guts out. My name's Andy Walker.
Sean Carruthers.
With my tie askew. We'll see you next time.